Hi, it's Mary Beth again, the nurse from Delaware, and I just want to speak out again against the stigma of addiction. I just read a post on Facebook from Captain Kudrick, or Chief Kudrick, of the Howell Township Police. He was mentioning a 911 call where one of his officers was injured on her way to aid a victim. Apparently, she received a fractured hand. The victim, on the other hand, was an overdose. And as he described the scene, the accident, and everything that had transpired, he gives the impression that the victim, because it was an overdose, it was almost his fault that the accident was caused. He also leads me to believe that he feels that addicts, those that have the substance abuse disorder, don't deserve the same quality and quickness of treatment as someone having a heart attack or a child who might have drowned. The 911 caller described the victim as unconscious and not breathing. That could have been anyone's mother, child, son, but yet because it was someone that has overdosed, I got the opinion of the chief that it just wasn't important enough, and that he was more worried that he's going to lose an officer or two who will be responding to an overdose 911 call. I feel that his statements are very biased against those that suffer from the disease of addiction, and I feel that in his position as a chief police, his job is to educate his first responders against being biased on any victim that they come across, whether it be an addict, a heart attack victim, or a cancer victim. Addiction is a disease, and I'm really tired of first responders and the attitudes that we're coming across lately. These last 2 days have been alarming to me. First it was the firefighter from Massachusetts, and now it's a police chief in New Jersey. This really needs to stop. If you are a first responder, you are a first responder. It doesn't matter what the victim is or who the victim is. For all we know, that overdose victim in New Jersey could have been another police officer. It could have been a paramedic. It could have been a nurse. It could have been a firefighter. It could have been anybody. Just because there was an overdose does not mean that that person's life doesn't matter, and that now these officers at his precinct should take their time when they get the call that someone is unconscious, not breathing, just in case it is an overdose victim, because God forbid, we wouldn't want a first responder to be injured in the line of duty trying to help someone who is dying. So Chief Kudrick, I just want to put that out there. Maybe you need to rethink your statements on social media. I don't really think you would have posted this if it had been a drowning victim, if it had been a heart attack victim, if it had been your mother or your child. I don't think the accident would have any bearing on the travel time, the victim, the response, anything at all. But because, once again, the victim was an overdose, all of a sudden, it's all about that. Let's remember, you are first responders. You are trained. You are not to be biased. And we need to educate, maybe you, Chief Kudrick, on the disease of addiction and how to be a leader to your people who should show no bias. Everyone should be treated equally. The response time for every emergency should be the same because every life matters. So please, educate yourself, rethink your statements, and if you really have that opinion that an addict's life doesn't matter, I suggest you keep it to yourself, because there are very, very many people like me who are mothers of addicts that did not make it. So I would very strongly suggest you educate yourself before you make statements on anything that has to do with an overdose victim. They are victims to a terrible disease that they have no control over. So please, like I said, think before you speak. Chief Kudrick. Thank you.